at the biggest motorsports event in southern Thailand and one of the best in the entire country. This is Surat Car Festival in Surat Thani, and it's a massive car show with a ton of hot models. Plus, they've teamed up with DC Drift to bring us a legitimate drift car. Vehicles are still rolling in for the car show. By the way, look at that Civic. It's a four-door hatchback. When's the last time you've seen one of those? They took a sedan, chopped the rear half off of it, took an EK hatchback, and grafted it on the back of a sedan. So while we wait for all this to fill up, our plan is we're gonna go over to the paddock area where all the drift cars are, and I'm gonna show you some of my favorite drift cars here in Thailand. Okay, so we're getting straight into this with one of my favorite drift builds here in Thailand. A regular cab, short bed Ford Ranger with a twin turbo V8. It uses the Toyota UZ, the 4-liter V8. You're gonna notice a lot of cars here in Thailand run this engine. It's basically their LS. Check out the Z32, and this is definitely a crowd favorite because of who the driver is. Don't get me wrong, the car's sick. It's very rare to see a Z car at a drift event in Thailand compared to the US, but this one's built motor, UZ, V8, twin turbo, and the driver of the car is Christy. You remember Christy? The last time you saw Christy, she was driving her Safiro. This is her brand new Z32 300ZX build, and she hasn't had an opportunity to test it. This event is an actual competition, a legit full-blown competition, but for Christy, it's just a test session to get used to the car. Brand new build. Next to the Z32 is one of my favorites. How many times am I going to say this is one of my favorite drift cars in Thailand? Probably a lot. It's just so cool to see an R32 as a drift car. And yeah, I hate to break it to you, but it's also 2JZ. And right next to the R32 GTR is an R33 Gtr. And this one's really, really sick. The entire thing is carbon. I mean, look, it's actually camo carbon. I don't know if it comes off on camera, and it does not have a 2JZ, but it does have a Toyota motor. 1 UZ, built motor, twin turbo, 1,000 horsepower. Next to that, another all carbon car. This is all carbon Kevlar S15. This is a new build that just got finished, and this thing is pretty badass as well. The carbon Kevlar S15 is next to the camo carbon R33, but right here is an R34 Gtr drift car, which is something you probably never thought you would see, but there it is. If you really, really, really know R34 GTRs, the engine bay on this looks a little strange. And I'm not even talking about the JZ. A lot of these cars you see in Thailand that are R34 GTRs, they're Nissan Safiro chassis, which is like the A31 Nissan Safiro. It's like an early 90s 4-door Nissan sedan that's rear-wheel drive. And basically what they do is they take R34 body panels and they graft them onto the Nissan sedan, and they make this. I'm not mad at it. This is one of the only cars here in Thailand, one of the only drift cars in Thailand that actually use an LS. And on top of that, it's one of the only cars in the Thailand Drift Series that is driven by a foreigner. This is my buddy Bling's car. It's a turbo LS1, and I love that front end. I can't remember what the name of that front end is, but it makes it look like an old school. It's a Rocket Bunny. It's a Rocket Bunny retro I don't know. If you know what it's called, let me know in the comments. So I don't have much footage of Bling's qualifying pass destroyed his diff. To get another diff in the car, they had to pull one out of a different car in Bangkok, get it from Bangkok to Surat Thani. This car is driven by a guy named Benz, and he was the #1 qualifier today at this series. And I'm gonna be honest, he was absolutely fucking killing it. Like, come on, dude. Do you think maybe, possibly, he's been killing some tires? I would say that's a possibility. These are just a few of the drift cars here at DC Drift. There's so many of them. I mean, you have Built Motor 2JZ, S13s, Saphiros, more Saphiros, another S14, another S13. There's a bunch of really, really sick cars at this event. Okay, it definitely looks like the car show section is filling out. So let's go over here, check out some of these show cars, and then we'll head to the track and check out the drift competition. Beautiful R34 Skyline GTR. This guy with the Aventador is looking at me like I'm out of my mind because I'm standing here going, what, mind blown. And I'm not even looking at his car. I'm looking at this because holy shit, that is perfection. Oh my God. But I just realized something. This is very, very USDM. A Supra build like this, when I first came here in 2015, 2016, you would never see a Supra built like this in Thailand. Modified Mark IV Supras looked like this. And it's strange. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is nice, but I personally prefer that. It's interesting to see them go from a style of build that was influenced by Japan to one that's influenced by America. They even call this USDM style here. It's pretty funny. Always remember, a race car can always be a show car, but a show car can very rarely be a race car. I mean, why not? Hello? Hello? I had to get a photo too, right? Yeah. Those are some really nice Z cars. You don't see Zs in Thailand that often because they're actually really expensive. One of these Zs here in Thailand will sell for like 60,000 US dollars. A lot of people think the really rich people in Thailand, specifically Bangkok, drive around in like AMG Mercedes. This is not true. The really wealthy people don't drive in Bangkok. They sit in the back of one of these and play on Instagram with an iPad. That is the real way to get around Bangkok. Bro, what the hell is this thing? I have no idea what this is, but it's super freaking cool. And I love the truck next to it. I don't know what this is either. Is this like, I don't know what's going on here. Is that a Dodge? Whoa, I didn't expect this to happen. Look at that. Sick. That's fucking sick. Dude, that's so badass, bro. That's badass. That's fucking sick. I love these car meets, man. I love these car meets. Such a cool ride. Spoon Sports Honda CRV. Oh, look, here's a Spoon Sports themed EK hatchback. I feel like this one and this one should be parked next to each other. The Evo is like spoiling the party here. I love this S14 though. It has the boss kit and it is a naturally aspirated SR20. And it sounds so sick. Yeah, back here's pretty packed, but but it's mostly like Toyota Corollas, Hondas, and Isuzu D-Maxes. Most of the vehicles that are built here locally in Thailand. Again, if you have a car that is not manufactured in Thailand, there's a 200 to 300% import duty tax on those cars. So that's the reason cars like Toyota Corollas, Hondas, and Isuzu D-Maxes are so popular here, because there's zero import duty tax, and they essentially cost what they cost in your home country. When you compare that to something like an R35 Gtr, that here, 400,000 US dollars. That van is so extremely baller. Damn. Look at the massive Brembo brakes. And look at this thing. This is so incredibly cool. This is a Ford Everest. In America, we didn't get Ford Everest. It's essentially the SUV version of a Ford Ranger, and they put an F-150 Raptor front end on it. I hear drifting going on back there. This far into this video and you're not subscribed to the CB Media YouTube channel, please do me a personal favor. I'm trying to get to 500,000 subscribers. Make sure that you're subscribed and also turn your post notifications on, so when I do a pop-up live stream, you're notified when I'm live. It only happens occasionally, and once I'm done, they're deleted. Notifications on, subscribe, like the video, do all the YouTube-y stuff for me. It really does help with the algorithm. Thank you. Bro, that was a sick battle between the all-carbon Kevlar S15 and that green Devil Drift School S13. My buddy drives the green S13. He's like a famous radio DJ in Bangkok, and obviously a very, very talented drifter. R32 is so freaking sick. No idea why he went solo. He must have a buy run. Maybe his competitor broke or something. But regardless, he killed it. I love that truck. I came back to the car show to see what was going on. You know, pretty girls sitting on hot cars. But I'm very concerned because back there, you see massive lightning storms. And I came here on a motorbike and it's starting to rain. So this is a big problem. So this is the end of my video of Surat Car Festival. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the video, make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in another YouTube video next weekend. Peace.